You're right there, lads and ladies, Joe here, and in today's video I'm going to give you a no-nonsense lesson on how to give an accurate target indication within PUBG. Because let's face it, how many times we've been in games and people have been making call-outs saying, oh, there's one over there, there's one to your left, and it's like, that's not going to help the team, that's not helping me, I do not know where the fuck I'm being shot from, what the fuck. So to avoid being that guy, to avoid being that person, to avoid being that douche, these are a few methods that I use personally within my own gameplay that help my team to identify where I want them to engage, where I see the enemy, and hopefully you'll be able to implement these within your own gameplay. So with that all being said, let's crack on with the video. Right, so the 5 things that I always remember when it comes to giving out a target indication is to be quick, clear, precise, info and method. What I mean by quick is getting the information out as quickly as possible. Don't try and linger around saying like, oh, they're wearing blue jeans, fucking high top red shoes, they've had a lovely day out at Nando's or some random shit like that. Like that information is not required. You need to be quick about it. Obviously don't be so quick that you're spitting out bars like Twister, but you need to be quick with getting your information out, because those crucial seconds of you getting the information out is detrimental to getting your team to getting into the firefight. If the quicker they know where the enemy is, the better, and so they can return appropriate fire. The next one is being clear. Now, when I say this, it goes without saying, like, you don't want to be coughing, you don't want to be mumbling, you don't want to be like, you know, have a fucking balaclava around your face. You want to be clear when you're talking. You don't want to be like, oh, there's next man over by there still or having a face full of Doritos. Like, no, you need to be clear. You need to be like, oh, there's a contact front 200 meters left of building. You just got to be clear. Don't fuck about. Just get the information out. Next, you got to be precise, and what I mean by being precise is you got to be as accurate as possible. Obviously you're not going to be able to get every bit of information out as perfectly as imaginable, but the more information you can get out, the better. If you can say like, oh, there's 1 on our 12, it's like, good, okay, you've identified they're on our front, but it's like, where on the front? Could they be behind the tree in front of us? Could they be behind the rock in front of us? That's when you got to start being a little bit more accurate. You got to be like, alright, contact on our 12, left of rock. As simple as that, you've identified where the target is in front of you. And then if you're playing like squads or duos, then obviously you give more information as you're going along. Say like, alright, I see one contact front, left of rock. But then it's like, alright, you're playing duo, so there could be a second guy somewhere. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but the more information you get out, the better. And continuing on from that is number 4, with info. And what I mean by info is try and get as much useful information out as possible once you've given out the target indication. Okay, so you've identified there's one behind the rock. Is there anything potentially dangerous about that target that we need to know? Is he using an AWM, for example? Is he using a shotgun? Obviously in the midst of a firefight, it's going to be hard to identify what kind of weaponry he's going to be using. But if you can identify that somebody's using like an AWM, for example, it will let your team know to be a bit more careful, try and keep more on the move. Generally speaking, a lot of people are going to be using like SMGs, assault rifles, etc. But if you can try and pick out the main points of interest, say if there's a ghillie out in the distance, somebody using an AWM, it will just give your team that bit more of an advantage, and you can prioritise that target over the rest of them, because obviously they'll be the biggest threat. Not all the time, but 9 times out of 10, if somebody's using an AWM or sniper rifle, they're going to be quite dangerous and they have the potential to knock you in one shot. And the next piece of equipment you can use to give out a target indication is the compass at the top of your screen. In terms of giving out a target indication, the compass is a great piece of equipment because it will give you the precise angle from your position. So if you give out a target indication, you say southwest, and your teammate's fairly close, they'll be able to see them as well. But the only problem with this is if they're a bit further off to the right or further off to the left or on top of a hill or something, and you say southwest, it may not be southwest to them, it might be 200 or 250. So you just need to take that into consideration. But generally speaking, if you say south or north, they'll have a rough idea of where to look. Another little tip that I do is if someone gives out a target indication and I can't see them, what I'll do is I'll check the minimap and see where their cursor is looking. Then I'll look in that general direction as well. But all you have to bear in mind is with the compass, you just have to take into consideration where your teammate's location is. As long as you stay fairly close to each other, you should be alright. But if you're too far away from each other, it's just going to make using the compass obsolete. Generally, if you're within a 50-meter radius of each other, you should be alright in giving out a target indication with the compass. And using the compass is pretty self-explanatory. Whichever direction you're looking at is the reading you'll give. So say if you're looking at a direction and you see an enemy, you go contact southwest 200 meters by a house. And it's as simple as that. And if you was looking north, you say north, and if you was looking at west, you say west or 250 or whatever. And last but not least, we're going to be talking about the method. For me, there's 3 methods that I always use in PUBG: direct method, reference method, or clock ray. And these 3 methods are a little different compared to each other, but they're all essentially giving out the same sort of thing, information. With the direct method, it is the most clear and quick and precise one I find to use. So for example, you go contact front, left of tree, 200 meters out. When it comes to a reference method, you use a landmark. So it's essentially the same as a direct method, but you use a bit of a landmark. So say, I don't know, use a lamppost or use a building. Or you can go contact front, blue building, 200 meters right of it. And the last one is a clock ray method. So essentially what you're doing, you're putting an imaginary clock onto an object, and then you're giving off the indication from there. So say, I don't know, you're looking at a lamppost, you can say like contact 3 o'clock of lamppost. Now those are some of the methods I use to give out a target indication, but for the most part you'll pick up your own ways of giving out a call out. So long as you say contact or enemy, because obviously as soon as you say contact, everyone's going to be alerted there's somebody nearby. Then you'll give the direction, so you'll either go like 200 or you go north or south or wherever the direction is of the enemy. Then you'll give a range, so 200 meters, 400 meters, 50, and then you'll give the location, so either they're behind a building or out in the open or by a tree. Now I'm just going to quickly touch upon this before somebody turns around and asks in the comment section, oh well, how do you judge distance? Now for me it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, it just has to be a bit of a guess or guesstimate or however you want to call it. The more you play PUBG, the more you'll get an idea of like how far things are. But generally if I say someone's 50 meters out, that means they're really fucking close, they're right on us. If I say someone's 1,000 meters out, you can be fairly sure they're not going to engage us, they're just so far out in the distance, they're literally pixels. If you say someone's around like 500 meters, that's an idea. It's like, alright then, just got to be a bit careful, there might be snipers out there. And if they're 200 meters, that's the general sort of fighting distance I've noticed in PUBG. So anywhere between like 0 to 200 meters, that's where like the team needs to be like, alright, like, you know, just be mindful, be wary, get ready to fight. Anything beyond that point, it's like, you know, obviously be mindful of their position, but you don't need to worry about them too much unless they're opening up on you. Another little tip you can use is using the mini-map. So you've got a mini-map in your bottom left corner, those little squares indicate 100 meters. So say for example, you're in the middle of the field and say you're getting engaged by a building. If they're 2 squares away from you, then you can sort of imagine that they're going to be around 200 meters out. So that's another little method you can use to identify distance. Alright, and with that all being said, those are all the tips and tricks that I can give in order to give out an accurate target indication within PUBG. So the main 4 things I want you guys to take away from this is just remember number 1, contact, number 2, direction, number 3, distance, and number 4, reference. And if you can implement them in some shape or form, you'll be helping out your team immensely when it comes to giving out the call out. So with that all being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative for you. And if there's anything else you want me to touch upon regarding the target indication or distance or anything else like that or anything PUBG related, drop them down in the comment section below and I'm happy to help. I'm not going to claim that I'm the master at PUBG or anything, but these are the tips and tricks that I use that help me better myself within games, and hopefully they'll help out you guys as well. Hope all you guys and girls have a good day, and I'll catch you all in a bit. Draw a bit. Draw.
Chris, go for the left. Left.
Nah, we go right.
Yeah, go right. Raz, go right.
Ah, fuck.
It's got a better chance of getting into everywhere.
Yeah, we need to stick together.
His back doors
Strength in
got
numbers.
a better run.
His fucking name is Rainbow Dash, are you kidding me? Hit the ground, fuck!
What?
Okay,
What?
he's going to the left
Who's taking you
entrance.
back? Oh my god, we're all in.
We'll run halfway through.
Yeah,
get in there,
let's
Ludo.
try and get what we can. Are they all? Is it one dude or is it the 3? Because I saw
I saw one. I
There
don't
might
know
be a
about any
fourth.
others.
Find a weapon.
I got a
Sure.
pistol.
Please don't do this to me
Sure.
again.
I thought you were going to stick with me.
I'm with you.
I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked
I've got a
up,
pistol if someone needs it.
mate. Alright. Oh no, let you take it.
I'm hearing
I'll-
footsteps. I'm hearing a lot
Anyone
of
need a
footsteps.
pistol?
you
Yes.
upstairs.
No.
I need something.
I'm going to take the pistol. I haven't got fuck all, but I'm going to keep behind you.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
a lot above us.
Oh,
I
shit.
got going, hold on.
Alright, let's push
Oh,
it.
If you want it, I can try and hold back. I'll drop it if you need
Well,
it.
let's go.
I only got a
let's go.
mag.
Or just stay behind everybody.
Stack up on each other. AK on the table.
Going
Let
for
him
it.
take that. He doesn't have anything.
Oh shit.
He needs a weapon. Let him get the. Let him
Right,
get something.
I've got the Tommy gun. Use this to take whatever you want to take.
Okay.
Jordan, take this.
Still only got a pistol. Thank you.
No problem. Alright, let's stack up.
Gonna be close quarters. I might as well do this. Let me reload.
Use 3 stack up
Oh,
and then
God.
I'll go and get mine.
I'll take point.
I'm gonna have to be accurate as hits with this. Yeah. I've got a shot.
Okay, they're down the way. Bunch of weapons here, lads.
Running.
Yep, I can see him. Watch it, Joe.
Copy that.
There he is. He's popping his head.
Oh.
Stay in cover. Get in cover.
There's a guy on the left. Short left.
Oh wow. Good shot.
One on the right.
Short left. And over the container.
Got one on the right. Chris, watch it.
One's
I'm
behind the
also
crates
right
and
there.
one's right on that left there.
Alright.
One's right on that left.
On the right.
Yeah, he keeps peeking. He keeps again.
Dropped one, dropped one.
Nice.
No, I'm the one there. There's one on the left here, I can see him slightly. I have no ammo, lad.
Just keep pushing, man.
Yep, that's it, mate. I'm heading back, I'm heading back.
I say head back if you need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick that game pistol up.
Come
On
on,
left.
bitch.
I can see on the right. Dropped one.
Nice.
I've got 15 bullets.
I've got
Grenade,
four.
grenade.
Grenade, grenade.
Flash,
Oh.
flash.
Okay, you know what, lads? Everyone get ready for a push, okay? Well, not just yet, but
Smoke.
What? How did
Oh shit.
game up, game
What,
up.
mate, mate?
Stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down.
Get ready for their push, get ready for their push.
Oh no, you're good. Oh,
Shit, shit,
Ooh,
shit, shit.
Jesus.
you're good.
Well, mate, nice one.
They're getting ready to push.
You might need to stay down just because you don't have health. Or actually, I might have some bandages.
Right, I've
Fuck,
got some
no I don't.
there,
There's some right back to the left. Just heal up. Stay in
yeah,
cover.
let's do it.
That smoke lasts for so long.
Might be wise to fall back. We're not gonna have the ammo to fight this much longer.
Oh, shit.
Pull back, yeah, pull back.
Pull back.
Run. Just all ass.
Stop.
Go, go.
Fuck me.
Oh, shit.
Joker, you need to pull back, come on.
He's got you covered. Just run.
Go, 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 go.
Alright, let's go.
Fall back.
I knocked one.
Oh,
Nice, Joe.
Nice.
he's gotten dropped twice. He's gonna bleed out.
Nah, you can get up to 7 times before it bleeds out too
Joker,
fast.
Joker, I'm coming to you. I'm coming with you, Joker.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Shit!
Oh, shit, shit.
Back up,
shit.
back up,
Man
back up.
down.
Stack up, lads, stack up, stack up, stack up.
Wow, one tapped me. I had full fucking health. He's coming, guys.
Not him. Not one.
Stack up, stack up, stack up, come on.
I've only got 3. I've got 3 bullets left.
Go for Joe.
3 bullets left.
Go for Joe. Pushing.
Not him.
Thank you.
Teammates
I'm not up, shoot him.
Cover, cover, cover.
He has no bullets. Hold on. Footsteps behind.
What? It's
Behind.
Copy.
Is it?
Joe, go for it.
I'll get Jordan.
Got him.
Did he insta-die?
He insta-died.
Yeah, he insta died.
Fucking beautiful work, lads. Fucking hell. Well done, everybody. Well done.
No ammo.
Fucking, I just want to pat everyone on the fucking head. Jesus Christ.
I need some health. Let me take
That
that med
shit
kit.
went off.